predator, as happy eating berries, as scavenging a carcass or pouncing upon a vole, working shifts in full sun or by moonlight to mimic the waking hours of its prey. A canine, like a wolf or dog, whose canines aren't pronounced. In fact, being about 40 centimetres tall and weighing roughly 5 to 7 kilograms, the red fox isn't too dissimilar to the domestic cat. Now, I love animal adaptations, but they're not the main focus of my speech today. I want to talk with you about differences and how, just as for the fox, fear or misunderstanding can blind us to the gift we have in our differences. Now, I'm not saying that being different is all plain sailing. Imagine being back in reception. Year 2 are sitting there all-important sats, so you must keep out the way in a different room with a different routine. But what if change is not your strong point, and you find it hard to remember auditory commands? You're listening so hard that you can't remember anything. Then you hear something about going out to break and dutifully go to get your coat, only to be reprimanded in strong terms for doing such a thing in the middle of a lesson. Silently mortified, you are distraught for most of the day, but at the time unable to explain exactly what happened or why you feel so terrible. But that's my story, and you may hold little in common with what happened with my experience. Yet I do not seek your sympathy, but a willingness to understand. We are all different, so why should you pity me? In fact, I think it should be far more absurd to be normal. The Collins Dictionary gives synonyms like standard and average. According to such ideas, in the normal family of the UK, there are 1.86 adults, 1.7 children, and 0.5 pets. I have never met a household remotely like it. But even if we don't go by the synonyms, but by the dictionary definition, which normal is usual and ordinary, what people would expect, then though a person who fitted this could have no shockingly great weakness, they could have no surprising talent either. They could never excel at anything without ceasing to be normal. In fact, if we all were to be normal, if we all were to be relatively similar, we would not be where we are today. For it was not by any person's strength or weakness at that all of history was written. All the success through time is built on the strengths of multiple people. As Newton is quoted in Welby, "If I have seen further than others, it is by standing upon the shoulders of giants." Then why do we allow our differences to be one of our greatest dividers? I believe it is due to a lack of understanding that many painful outcomes can be brought. Fear, mistreatment, dislike, avoidance. The second largest shark grows up to 8 meters long, as the ribbon thought it would give you an idea of it. It weighs about the same as an elephant and has a mouth 1 meter wide. So some of you in the room might not be all that keen on getting any more closely acquainted. But being of a placid nature, preferring to swim slower than average walking pace, and with teeth half the size of ours, the only real danger you would encounter with a basking shark is if you should try to stroke it, because their skin is incredibly rough. Despite their size, relatively little is known about these gentle giants. We fish them intensively, mainly for oil, yet know little beyond how they are of use to us dead. But nothing evolves without a purpose. Everything has advantageous adaptations for a certain niche. Yet as these great fish struggle to revive their populations, I wonder, would it be worse to lose a species before we understand what vital role it plays? What if we don't seek to understand beyond what immediately interests us? What if, by such neglect and disregard, we put down another even before we know what we are losing, how to fill their place? It is not necessarily easy to step into another's shoes, It requires time and effort. But if people flourish, if we thrive as a result, is it not time and effort well spent? So let us embrace being different. I urge us all, myself included, to re-evaluate differences and the ways in which we do and could react and respond to them. So let us embrace being different. Thank you.